곳이에요.
And it's our first time in Stanford, but this place is truly so hot.
See you next time. See you next time.
Everyone ready now? Everyone ready now? Okay, let's go!
Jimin and Jungkook immediately slips into their own element whenever they sit together. I mean, just look at them, aren't these two so adorable? My heart craved for this kind of friendship. Before we go deeper into this moment, I want you to answer a few things in your mind. What do you think makes a performer truly unforgettable? Is it perfection, emotion, or the ability to make an entire crowd feel something at the same exact time? And have you ever watched a stage performance where you could not look away even for a single second because everything felt so magnetic? Because today, we are focusing on something truly special, and that is the presence of Jimin and Jungkook on stage, especially the way Jimin transforms the entire atmosphere the moment he steps into the spotlight. Now let us talk about Jimin, because there is something almost unreal about him that cannot be ignored. Jimin was truly looking ethereal with his newly done roots, the increased length of his hair, and that soft blonde shade that reflects every stage light in the most beautiful way possible. It does not feel like simple styling. It feels like everything about him is designed to enhance the aura he already carries naturally. There is a quiet beauty in the way he presents himself, a softness mixed with intensity that makes it impossible to look away. And the moment he steps onto the stage, everything changes instantly. It is like a switch flips inside him. The calmness disappears and is replaced by something powerful, something almost otherworldly. He performs like he is completely possessed by the music, as if every beat is flowing through him instead of around him. His movements are not just choreography. They feel like emotions being translated into physical form. Every gesture he makes carries meaning. Every expression he gives tells a story. Even the smallest movement feels intentional, like it was meant to be seen and felt rather than just watched. This is what makes him so captivating. It is not just skill, it is not just practice. It is passion at a level that feels almost overwhelming. You can see that he is not simply performing for an audience. He is living inside the performance itself. There is a kind of intensity in him that feels deeply personal. It is the kind of passion that only comes when someone truly loves what they do. And in his case, it is very clear that being on stage is not just a job or a responsibility. It is something he was meant for. And when Jimin performs, it feels like the entire stage belongs to him. Not in a loud or arrogant way, but in a natural and effortless way that only true performers can achieve. He does not demand attention. He attracts it without trying. Now, if you pay even closer attention to him during live performances, you start noticing details that most people completely miss the first time. The way he controls every transition between movements, the way his breathing changes with the intensity of the music, and the way his facial expressions shift naturally with every emotional beat of the performance. It never feels robotic or rehearsed, even though the choreography is incredibly difficult. Instead, it feels instinctive, like his body understands the music on a deeper level. And that is exactly why so many people become emotionally attached to his performances. You are not simply watching someone dance. You are watching someone fully surrender to the moment. Sometimes he looks almost delicate on stage, moving with elegance and softness that feels weightless. Then suddenly, within seconds, that softness transforms into intensity so powerful that it completely changes the energy of the performance. That contrast is one of the most mesmerizing things about him. One second he feels graceful and almost untouchable, and the next second he feels fierce, passionate, and completely consumed by the music. Very few performers can switch between those emotions so naturally without losing authenticity. And perhaps that is why every stage feels different even when performing the same song repeatedly. Jimin somehow finds new emotions inside familiar performances. He adds tiny details, subtle expressions, and slight variations that make every stage feel alive instead of repeated. That is not something that can be taught easily. It comes from genuine passion and emotional connection to performing itself. Now when Jungkook enters the picture, everything becomes even more interesting. Jungkook does not overshadow Jimin, and Jimin does not overshadow Jungkook. Instead, they elevate each other in a way that feels completely natural. There is a reason people call them an ace duo, because their chemistry on stage is something that cannot be manufactured or forced. Jungkook brings strength, precision, and a powerful stage presence that balances Jimin's emotional and fluid style perfectly. Together, they create a dynamic that feels complete, like two different energies blending into one seamless performance. And during concerts, there are countless moments where their connection becomes undeniable. A simple glance, a shared moment of synchronization, or even just standing near each other during high-energy performances creates a feeling that something special is happening on stage. What makes their chemistry stand out so much is how effortless it appears. They never look like they are trying too hard to create memorable moments. Those moments happen naturally because they understand each other's energy so well. Even during chaotic performances with loud crowds, flashing lights, and intense choreography, they still remain connected in subtle ways. A quick smile, a brief eye contact, or even matching movements at the perfect second instantly captures everyone's attention. And fans notice these moments immediately because they feel genuine. There is a natural comfort between them that makes every interaction feel warm and real rather than performative. That comfort allows them to move freely on stage without fear, and that freedom makes their performances feel even more alive. At times, it almost feels like they communicate without words during performances. Jungkook often brings stability and grounded energy, while Jimin brings emotional intensity and expressive artistry. Together, they create balance. Neither energy feels incomplete because both complement each other perfectly. And the more you watch them together, the more obvious their trust becomes. Trust is actually one of the most important parts of great stage chemistry. Without trust, synchronization can feel empty no matter how technically perfect the performance is. But with them, every movement feels connected emotionally as well as physically. That emotional connection is what transforms an ordinary stage into something unforgettable. There are also moments where the audience itself reacts differently whenever they perform side by side. The excitement becomes louder, the emotional energy in the venue becomes stronger, and suddenly everyone feels completely immersed in the performance. It is almost impossible to explain fully unless you have experienced it yourself. Even through a screen, their chemistry still manages to feel powerful. That alone says so much about the kind of performers they are. But still, Jimin remains the center of attention in many ways, not because he demands it, but because he embodies it. The way he performs feels almost spiritual. He does not just execute choreography, he becomes it. His body moves with precision, but his emotions guide every motion. There is vulnerability in his expressions and strength in his execution, and that combination is what makes him so unforgettable. One moment he appears soft and graceful, and the next moment he is powerful and intense, completely lost in the rhythm. That transformation is what keeps people completely drawn to him every single time. And what makes it even more fascinating is that no matter how many times you watch him, it never feels repetitive. It always feels fresh, like he is experiencing the performance for the first time every single time he steps on stage. That level of consistency mixed with emotional depth is extremely rare. So it makes you wonder, how does someone maintain that level of passion without ever losing intensity? How does someone continue to perform as if every stage is the most important moment of their life? And what is it about Jimin that makes his presence feel so emotionally overwhelming even through a screen? Meanwhile, Jungkook stands as the perfect counterpart, strong and steady, matching the energy while allowing Jimin's expressive artistry to shine even brighter. Together, they are not just performers, they are experiences. They create moments that stay in memory long after the music ends and the lights fade. And when you look at them closely, you realize it is not just about talent. It is about connection, dedication, and an unspoken understanding of the stage. So I want to ask you now, what was the moment that made you realize Jimin is truly on another level as a performer? What is the stage that still lives in your mind every time you think about him? And do you also feel that unforgettable chemistry between Jimin and Jungkook whenever they share the same stage? Because once you notice it, it becomes impossible to ignore ever again. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe to my channel, like this video, comment your thoughts, and share it with someone who loves Jimin and Jungkook as much as you do.